Assuming that there is one thing in like manner in this world that all living creatures look for. That is the bliss. We as a whole prefer to be content. We as a whole look for satisfaction in this world. On the off chance that I asked from you, might you want to be blissful in your life? What will be your response? You will say, obviously, I need to be blissful in my life. I need this tranquil state. I should be in that. That is your response. That is the response of every single living being. Buddha says that all living creatures likes to be content, and they look for the joy. Assuming you truly ponder our life, we are in a ceaseless excursion of seeking after joy. Allow me to tell that again. We are in a ceaseless excursion of seeking after bliss. That implies we are seeking after bliss. We are pursuing and we are looking for satisfaction, yet not track down it. So, what is the justification for this not finding satisfaction? Why we don't track down joy in our life? We are looking for it. We are battling for it, yet we don't track down it. What is the explanation? Well, the Buddha instructs us that we are finding, or we are looking for, this joy from a source that there is no such thing as bliss. Since we are looking for joy from outside world, we are looking for bliss from this materialistic things. Well, when you look for joy from materialistic things or outside world, you get delight. In any case, that isn't satisfaction. Delight is something brief, and it gives you right now delight. Be that as it may, and satisfaction, the joy is dependable. What's more, it brings you this satisfaction or the happiness about yourself. So for that reason, Buddha instructs us that you are tracking down the satisfaction from a source where the joy doesn't exist. So the more you think that it is, the more you become disappointed. At any point, so can we find satisfaction in our life? The Buddha addressed this question. He says, okay, you can track down joy in your life. Instructions to do that. Assuming you look carefully to the first and the second sections of Dharmapada, Buddha says, assuming one with a polluted psyche discusses acts the enduring will colleagues him, like a cartwheel following the bull. If with a tainted psyche one talks or acts, the enduring will follow him. Also, in the following refrain, Buddha says, if with an unadulterated psyche, if with an unadulterated brain, one talks or acts, the bliss will follow him like a shadow following a man. So that implies the bliss and the pity totally relies upon the immaculateness and the pollution of our brain. When our psyche is pale, we can track down the joy. So, how might we find, or how might we gain this immaculateness to us to see as the bliss? Well, do the educators ask, there are a ton of things that you can do to cause your psyche to show up. So today I will impart to you few things that can give you the bliss in your life, that you can view as the bliss in your life. Fasting, embracing the situation of life, will give you the joy. You realize life is loaded with highs and lows. Some of the time you have great days. Some of the time we have terrible days. Once in a while we have lovely recollections. At times we likewise have hopeless recollections. So life isn't something going similarly consistently. Once in a while decent, now and then terrible. When you understand this reality, you can confront these circumstances effectively. Right? It isn't this terrible all of the time. Experience makes us disappointed. It is our response towards this terrible experience makes us disappointed. Whenever you get a terrible encounter or a terrible day or a terrible circumstance, extreme circumstance, tough spot, you have two options. It is possible that you can zero in on the torment and have a hopeless outlook on that. Or on the other hand, you can zero in on the example that awful circumstance instructs us. What's more, gain from it and begin becoming your life. So assuming that you acknowledge the situation of life, it isn't transitory. In some cases, individuals around us are not in our control. We have no control over their responses. We have no control over their viewpoints. So when you understand these circumstances, you can confront those circumstances effectively. That is one thing, tolerating truth of the life. Number 2, Buddha said, be liberal. It is significant to rehearse liberality. Practice in Buddhism. Well, in Buddhism, the liberal city is known as dana. And Dana Buddha says that you need to give with practically no assumptions. We need to give and we need to commit towards others without anticipating anything consequently. That is one thing that we need to practice. More often than not, we like to clutch things or accumulate the things towards us. That is the very thing individuals think. When you accumulate more, when you gather more things, you will get rich and you will acquire satisfaction. Yet, that doesn't give you the satisfaction, it will give you the joy. Yet, it is brief. So how we need to help this is be liberal, give assistance others, devote a part of your life in the interest of others. At the point when you do that, when you become more liberal, suppose like this, you give a few food sources to for an individual. I'd say like that. At the point when you see that individual is having those food sources and conquering his and his yearning, also making his life much better, you can be cheerful by seeing that. At the point when you become cheerful like that, you feel blissful about yourself. Right? Nothing can give you that joy like by eating a decent food, by dressing a pleasant dress you can acquire. That bliss you don't feel cheerful about yourself. Just after, suppose after 100 of years after the fact, perhaps 10 decades, some other time, when you contemplate that occurrence, I gave this food to this needy individual, when you remind that, you'll feel blissful, and after it's all said and done, you feel glad. That implies satisfaction is enduring. So Buddha says, be liberal, assist individuals with doing something decent consistently for an individual. That is one thing we can do. Also, number 3, excusing. Pardoning is one of the most significant things that we can do to make satisfaction in our life. We need to pardon ourselves. Likewise, we need to pardon others as well. Since excusing, when you pardon it, doesn't imply that you are expressing all right to others' botches. It's all right, no you're not such saying. At the point when you excuse, you make your heart free. So when you pardon, it's not really for that individual, it is for you. And furthermore, we need to excuse for ourselves. There are such countless mix-ups that we as a whole have done previously, on the off chance that you clutch past. Furthermore, in the event that you make this current second hopeless, that won't give you the satisfaction. So what do we need to do? Anything, the terrible thing that we have done in the past, we must have this capacity to excuse ourselves and start from the very beginning. Once more, we as a whole have that capacity. Right? We as a whole have that honor to begin our life once more and make it a better one. All right, so nobody is amazing in this world. We as a whole have done botches. One thing that we need to do is to excuse. What's more, begin doing beneficial things. So these are 50 things that we can do to make satisfaction in our life. And furthermore, there is one joy that is called a definitive bliss in this world that the Buddha instructs us, that is called nibbana. So nirvana, that is the edification. At the point when you understand about the truth of this life, and when you eliminate this want all the hankering that emerges inside your brain, then Buddha says that is a definitive bliss. Basically, the nibbana implies eliminating of the craving outrage. What's more, the hallucination of the psyche is called the edification, so that is the most noteworthy level of bliss that we as a whole can reach. So when you practice these practices, at the point when you draw on yourself in healthy express that will make you the joy in the life, so practice these things and make your life a more joyful one.